So first things first, let's preheat the oven to 400 degrees Fahrenheit. Hi guys, we just wanted to start off by saying we hope you guys are doing well. We know that this is a really tough time for everybody, and we just wanted to make this tofu Joojeh kebab so that everybody can hopefully make this at home, because you don't really need too many things for it. And hope you guys enjoy, and let's just forget about our problems and challenges all happening right now and just enjoy this video with us for a few minutes. So the first thing we want to do is just go ahead and cut up our fresh onions and fresh garlic cloves. So we're just gonna, I like to cut it like that and then just kind of make it a little bit thin, not too thick, not too thin really, but it's up to you what size you want. And the reason we use this much onion is because we really like to cook it together with the tofu, and it's so good on top of rice, you guys.
So good.
Okay, we're gonna go ahead and throw these in our bowl here that we're gonna mix all of the marinade into. Oh, my eyes. We're gonna add our garlic into our bowl here, and then we're gonna go ahead and add the rest of the marinade. So first we have oil here. We have a mixture of vegetable oil and olive oil, and this is just because we love the flavor of olive oil, but if we use all olive oil it would be too flavorful. All right, and then next we have juice from some lemon here. We're gonna add that right in. And now we're gonna add all of our spices. So here we have sea salt, we have black pepper, turmeric, garlic powder, somar, and this is optional. We have some red pepper flakes here just to add a little bit more heat. And you can also use lemon pepper if you want, but we don't have that. And since we're adding pepper and fresh lemon, it's fine. And then the last thing you want to add, to be really traditional, is some saffron, some zafirun, which is optional. It's really good without it too, but I mean, come on.
It's, yeah,
you got it.
That extra level for sure.
So we're just gonna add a pinch. I don't want to add too much.
Yeah.
Because it's like gold. And then, yeah, so you're just gonna go ahead and mix that all together. And by the way, all the measurements, as always, are in the description, along with the entire recipe. Yeah, that's good. All right, so that's all of our marinade, guys. And this is really delicious stuff. Like we said, put that on your rice. It's so good. And
so good.
This is our mom's recipe that she's been using forever. All right, now we're gonna get going with our tofu, and we're just using one package here, which is enough for like 2 people for 1 meal, or 1 person for 1 meal. It really depends on the person. We are limited because our tofu came like this, but usually we cut it a little bit differently. But anyway, for this I'm gonna just show you. We're gonna cut this down the middle, which is a little thinner than we usually go. We don't want it to be too thick, and that's because the marinade, as you know, with tofu, it's the most flavorful on the outside, right? So if it's too thick, it's not gonna be as flavorful. So we want really delicious pieces of tofu. And so it's usually around this size. We tend to do it a bit longer. So get your tray ready and line it with foil. All right, and we're just gonna start placing our tofu on the tray. And while we do this, I'm just gonna talk about the recipe. So first of all, of course you can do this on the barbecue. So for that, just make sure your pieces are a bit thicker. And I would also recommend marinating it, you know, if you can do it overnight, that would be a good idea, just because when we cook this on the tray, this is really when it absorbs. All the marinade is gonna absorb into our tofu. But if you do this on the barbecue, you're really just gonna get that outer layer covered with the marinade. So I would recommend marinating it overnight. And the other thing is, this marinade is so delicious, like we were saying, and you can put this just with like vegetables on, you know, it works really with anything. You don't have to use tofu. Of course, this is not a vegan chicken recipe. This is like Joojeh kebab for us, But you can use any kind of vegan chicken alternative like seitan or soy chicken or something. We're working on a recipe, on a chicken seitan recipe, and where you just marinate that. And then you put like soy paper or yuba skin on it. So we are working on that. And if you guys want to see that recipe, let us know in the comments. And please give this video a thumbs up if you guys like it, of course. If you don't, then don't bother. You can give it a thumbs down. So yeah, and then this is how it looks. We just want to give a little bit of space. And then we're going to go ahead and pour our marinade as evenly as we can on top of everything. All right, the other thing is that we have done this so many times, and we have tried putting it all in a Ziploc bag and letting it marinate overnight and then coming and doing it, and guess what? This tastes just as delicious, if not in some ways more delicious. And it's with a fraction of the work. It's so easy. You literally just throw it on the tray. You don't need any time ahead to do this. We don't even drain our tofu when we do this because we notice that it really makes not much of a difference, and it actually comes out more juicy. We try to make everything we can as easy and simple and quick as possible, and this is really healthy and really delicious, and we hope you guys give this a try, because as you can see, the preparation is just barely
super easy. This kebab recipe literally does the work for you.
Exactly.
And it's with tofu, which, you know,
exactly.
You don't usually expect much with tofu.
So good.
And cheap, very cheap.
By the way, you can just do that with the tray.
If you notice some bald spots.
Yeah, and you can really get it on everything. All right, we went ahead and put that in the oven, and we're just gonna let that cook. Okay, so it's been about 30 minutes, and for the first 15 minutes, we had it on that 400 degrees, and then for the second 15 minutes, we have it on 350 degrees the rest of the time. Okay, so we've just flipped all the pieces of tofu, and as you can tell, the edges are always going to get crispier, and that's why we don't like to put onions like on the very ends, because they tend to burn there. And I'm just going to like move these outer ones, switch them with the most inner tofus. Okay, we're going to go ahead and put this back in the oven just to finish it off. Now you're just gonna raise it back to 400 degrees and let it go for about 10 minutes to 15 minutes. All right, it's done, you guys. We just left it in for that extra 10 minutes. Perfect. Our tofu Joojeh kebab is ready and looks amazing. Let's dig in and have a piece here. I'm gonna get everything in it with some of that onion, some somar. Oh my god, that looks so good. Oh my god, that tastes amazing. Let me show you the inside.
And you would think it tastes like tofu. It honestly does not.
That tastes so good. And guys, you can make this and take it with you the next day to work or school or wherever. I'm telling you, it tastes so delicious leftover. I want to show you a really nice piece too. See, it's like all caramelized. Nice. We hope you guys have a wonderful day and stay safe in this time.